Welcome back, Computer Information Systems. Hope you enjoyed my musical little interlude. Bit of sense of humor this morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you decide to look at this. I have another upgrade. You'll notice I'm not wearing headphones anymore, and I think my voice is coming through a little bit more clearly, hopefully. I've got this device I'm going to carefully show you. I bought this for my wife because she was doing videos for her classes, and I'm borrowing it from her and seeing how it works. So, at any rate, I hope y'all are doing well. We're going to go into Excel activity number 4, and we are going to continue working on developing our spreadsheet. Okay, so from there, I'm going to go into Microsoft Office Home. I'm going to find in my most recent documents Excel activity 3. And when we open activity 3, it should look something like this. We've got our completed table. This is the table area. And then to the right of it, we have 2 charts. Okay? The table is where the actual numbers exist in rows and columns. The charts are a graphic representation of that information. So we've got charts, table. Okay. Your charts should look roughly like mine do, although they might be a little bit different based on the data. We have used the same chart tools, which I showed you guys in activity 3. If you have everything where you want it to be, if it looks the way you want it and you're proud of your work, ready to move forward, make sure at this point we go to File, Save As. You're going to save a new copy, and this time we're going to call it Excel Activity 4. I'm putting example there because that's helping me keep track of my work from your work. So you would just put Excel Activity 4. Okay? If you want, you can put a dot and your initials at the end. Might be useful, but that's what I need from you. All right. You have saved this now. It reads Excel Activity 4 at the top, and we are ready to move forward. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at how we create like a larger workbook. Right now, we have one sheet. It's an Excel sheet. We have a table on here, and we have some graphs that are representing that information. Okay, but a lot of times when you're working in Excel, you might need more than just one sheet of information. It's quite common, actually. So, we're going to look down towards the bottom here where it says Sheet, and we are going to, this is called the Sheet tab. If I right click on that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rename this. I'm going to give it a descriptive name just like I would with a descriptive file. So here we're going to talk about, coronavirus stats for statistics. I'm going to click OK, and you'll notice that changes. I can right click on this again, and look, I can change the tab color. This is really just something to make it look a little bit nicer, to make those tabs stand out. You can do like color coding if you have an advanced workbook that has lots of things in it, but I would like you to just apply any light color to that tab. It's your choice. Directly to the right of that tab, you see a little plus symbol. We're going to click that now, and what it's going to do is it's going to create a new sheet. Okay, the old one is still there. I can click back and forth, but this one is now blank, sheet 1. And we are going to give this new sheet a name as well. I'm going to right click and rename it, and we're going to call this Virginia over time. Okay, so for the Virginia over time graph or table, we're going to create a long table. It's going to be a long list of kind of information for Virginia. And in order to find this data, I'm going to point you to a new website. That website will be linked on the assignment, but it is here. This is the virginia.gov. And there's lots of information here, dealing with Virginia specifically and coronavirus. Okay, you can see different data. What we're talking about right now, we're going to be looking at the number of reported cases over time. Now, it's important to note that these statistics are just talking about reported cases. This has nothing to do with people who have died. It has nothing to do with people who have recovered. It's just the reported cases. It's also not a representation of how many people have it in the moment. It's just the people who have been detected and confirmed as cases. Okay? At any rate, this begins on February 23rd. Okay? The first confirmed case. And that might raise some questions for you. But we're going to go, let's start actually just from the beginning of March, March 1st. Okay? So I am going to create a list of dates. Now, I actually, looking at this, I don't really want to type all of that. So here we're going to learn about our good friend, the fill handle. So if we're starting from 3-1, so let's set this up correctly. We're going to start and look at main title. Let's call this coronavirus statistics. We're going to give it a subtitle underneath, which is going to be Virginia cases reported. Okay. And we're going to give, just like we did with our previous spreadsheet, we're going to give it a date. Okay. I'm doing this on the 1st, so I'm going to do 4/1/2020 to record the date that I have found this information. Okay. So the next thing that I'm going to do is we're going to create a list of dates. So I want to label my date. This table is going to be set up slightly differently than the one on the previous sheet. So I'm going to put date in cell A5. When I press tab, I'm now going to put in my first date, which is March 1st. Okay, when I tap enter, you're going to see it's automatically going to convert this into 1 mar, which is just a stylistic way of showing the date. We can change that. Up here, back in the number area that we talked about in previous lessons, there's this down arrow. I want to click on that, and we're going to look at, so we've got short date or long date. We can also go down to more number formats. Okay, and here I have a list of different ways I can format my numbers. Here I'm in the date section, and I can scroll down to look at different ways I can just choose to display those dates. All right, we're going to, just because we're going to have lots of numbers, I want something that has letters here so we can kind of easily, my viewer can easily see that these are, you know, dates and not like some fraction or something. So let's go with Mar 12, this one right here. Or, I'm waffling here. Let's talk, yeah, let's do that one. Okay. All right. Now, we've got a number of dates that we are trying to record all the way through the 31st. Okay. I don't want to type all that out. Fortunately, in my Google Sheet, I have this little button called the fill handle. Okay, so with my Mar 20 selected, if I hover over the green border, I can see a 4-headed arrow. This would be the move button. We're not going to do that, but that's what that's used for. Or if I go in the bottom right-hand corner, I get this thin plus sign, and that is my fill handle. If I click and drag that to the right, I am going to notice that it's automatically, ooh, no it's not. All right, let's establish a pattern then. If it's not accepting our, because that's showing month and year. That's not showing month and date. So my format is wrong. Let's try this again. I'm going to go into number formats. I'm going to do let's do this. Let's go back to the fraction. Okay, so this is showing 3-1 as my date. Now I'm going to fill handle across. There we go. So you see that the fill handle is recognizing that this is the date, March 1st, and when I use that fill handle, it is continuing to progress and fill in those things for me. So I don't have to type. It's nice. This is going to be a long spreadsheet because we're going all the way through 31 days. Okay. I'm going to continue dragging across. Notice that if I go too far, it knows actually to switch from the 31st to the 1st. Okay? So it looks like I'm getting all the way to AF so I'm in AF5, takes me to the 31st. I can eliminate these other two numbers with the delete key, get rid of them. All right, I have all of my dates. Now what I need you to do is go through and we're going to put in, let's change the size here so that they're kind of matching a little bit better. I am going to put in number, NO period, of cases. Expand my column so that it fits the words. And I'm going to go back and forth between my statistics here. And actually what you might want to do is create a kind of a split screen here. And here, let's see how we can do this. Boom, boom. I'm going to take my bottom here. All right, there. Now I can see, using this kind of split screen approach, I can see my dates and I can see my data. This way I don't have to switch back and forth between the different windows. And I can go ahead and I can start filling these in from the first. So I've got 3. The tab key is going to be really useful for this. Oops. Let's go back, make sure we don't turn in any wrong numbers. All right, and I'm going to pause here and let you guys pause and fill in these numbers on your own time. We'll pick up in a second. Okay, so if you've completed it successfully, you should have this long list of numbers, looking something like what I've got here. I'm going to wrap this up and carry on to a second video. But what I would like you to do on your own time between these videos is apply some light formatting so that our title looks like a title, subtitle looks like a subtitle. Maybe we can use the inspiration from our first sheet to try to make something that looks very similar to it. I want you to apply some color to our information here and here all the way across, and we will change the color of our tab to the color of your choice. Last but not least, we're going to put in our source information and copy and paste that information from the website. Okay, I'll let you do that and then we'll pick up on the next video. Okay.